Sir Philip Green has a lot to say about the Duchess of Sussex. He is a failed politician and an ineffective race and equality commissioner in the UK. He has been in the UK for decades and failed to do anything of substance for the Windrush community. Trevor Phillips is an old and bitter man. He knows that the royals mock him with their little trinket and have no respect for him. He knows his colleagues at the BBC or the Times do not read his articles or value his opinion. The descendants of the Windrush generation have no use for him because of all his work as an equality commissioner. He has failed to produce one policy that advances the Windrush community. Trevor Phillips is what we call a useless man. He knows it, and when he sees what Meghan did for the Grenfell community, he is enraged. Trevor is enraged by jealousy regarding what the Duchess of Sussex achieved for the Grenfell community in 1 year in the UK with the Hub Community Kitchen. The idea of the Together Cookbook was Meghan's idea. The Together Cookbook, championed by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, had this impact on UK in year one. Duchess of Sussex's cookbook sold 130,000 copies to make £557,638 for Grenfell Hub Community Kitchen. Hub Kitchen prepares 300 meals a day for homeless shelters and senior citizens. £204,031 was invested in refurbishing the kitchen. £28,520 was reinvested in empowering the women through training and gaining 23 certifications and social enterprise training. Munira Mahmood of Hub Community created her own business, Muniriyats. In our research, we could not find 5 accomplishments that this man has gained that have transformed the Windrush generation, which he is supposedly an expert on. Sir Trevor Phillips' tenure as the Race and Equality Commissioner in the United Kingdom has never been evaluated. We provide a comprehensive assessment of his performance. Analysis of the impact of Trevor Phillips's work. Trevor held a position of influence, but was unable to bring change. Trevor Phillips lacked the leadership to create consensus among the stakeholders to make equality a success. However, Sir Trevor Phillips' tenure also faced criticism and controversies. Some critics argued that his approach focused more on rhetoric and symbolic gestures rather than tangible action. They claimed that he failed to translate his intentions into effective policies that could bring about substantial change in the lives of marginalized communities. Critics further questioned his ability to effectively engage with diverse communities and represent their interests adequately. They argued that his leadership lacked a grassroots perspective and did not prioritize the voices and experiences of those most affected by racial disparities. Trevor is celebrated by the British royal family as the best that Britain has to offer. Yet, there are no readers who have been inspired by Trevor's work to create systemic change for the Windrush community. There are no young journalists who emulate his work. The royal family touts Trevor as a success in human rights. Yet there are no verifiable or quantifiable achievements by Trevor Phillips. Any man with an African heritage who does nothing to advance his own people is worthy of an OBI, the ultimate measure of subjugation. After all, what self-respecting man of African heritage would brag about receiving a medal with the colonizer with his foot on the neck of the black man? Purpose of the Race and Equality Commission. The Race and Equality Commission derives its authority from the Equality Act 2010, which grants it the power to influence government policies on race and equality issues. The Race and Equality Commission was established in the United Kingdom with the primary goal of promoting and advancing racial equality. It operates within a legal framework that includes the Equality Act 2010, empowering it to address discrimination, monitor policy implementation, conduct research, and provide recommendations to the government on race and equality matters. The Commission was expected to provide impartial guidance and advice to policymakers and effectively advocate for the rights and interests of diverse communities. The Commission has the responsibility to assess and monitor progress in tackling racial disparities, promote equality of opportunity, and combat discrimination. Explanation of the Commissioner's role and responsibilities. As the Race and Equality Commissioner, Sir Trevor Phillips held a critical role in addressing racial inequality, discrimination, and promoting social cohesion. His responsibilities encompass monitoring the implementation of government policies, conducting research on racial disparities, engaging with stakeholders, and providing recommendations to the government to drive positive change. Sir Trevor Phillips acted as a bridge between marginalized communities and policymakers, advocating for equitable policies and striving to dismantle systemic barriers. Overview of the specific objectives set for Sir Trevor Phillips. One of the objectives was to increase the representation of underrepresented groups in decision-making roles and address disparities in education and employment, combating racial discrimination and promoting equal opportunities for individuals from diverse backgrounds to rectify systemic injustices and create a more inclusive society. Addressing race and equality issues in the UK. Trevor Phillips was supposed to advocate for policy changes, conduct research, collaborate with various stakeholders, and raise public awareness. The Commissioner plays a vital role in fostering an inclusive and equitable society for all. The position provides a platform to highlight racial disparities, challenge discriminatory practices, and champion policies that promote equal opportunities and social cohesion. Factors contributing to Sir Trevor Phillips' failure. Sir Trevor Phillips encountered opposition and resistance from various political and social actors during his tenure. He lacked the leadership to influence policymakers because nobody in England respects his voice. They all knew he was a token, and that tokens do not have power. The decision-makers are comfortable with people of African heritage as the permanent underclass. So why would they want to change the status quo? The Commissioner's efforts to enact meaningful policy changes and hinder progress in addressing systemic racial inequalities. Ultimately, Sir Trevor Phillips' tenure failed to go beyond talk. There was no action, and failed to achieve a single policy for racial equality and social justice in the United Kingdom.